like thistledown. But don't make any mistake. What you see drifting gently down from the sky is death and destruction. Those parachutes, dropped in batches from big transport planes, carry soldiers and their arms, men of Britain's paratroops. The aeroplane changed war. The parachute changes it again. When men first discovered that a mushroom-shaped bag of silk or fine cotton would carry the weight of a man gently to earth, the invention was designed to save life. Now it carries death to the enemy. This is a dangerous and desperate job, demanding great courage, ingenuity, and ruthless determination. These paratroops you see here, waiting to jump from their plane, have all these qualities. Yet before the war, they were ordinary young men doing ordinary jobs. What made them paratroops? First, rigorous selection for fitness and courage. Second, exhaustive and intensive training. They're so highly trained now that every man knows instinctively every move of the game from the word jump. No job in war demands a higher standard of physical fitness. They exercise continually out of doors until they're as hard and as agile as healthy young men can be. They learn how to fall with the least danger of injury, because when a parachutist lands, he lands with a bump. The instructors used to be boxers and all-in wrestlers. They don't spare the men, and the men don't spare themselves. In the midst of mechanized war, the Spartan virility of the old-time warrior becomes once more a vital factor. Each of these men must be ready for single combat, ready to grapple and kill. In case he should land some distance from his gun, he must be able to fight unarmed. Here's the instructor picking out a victim. Hey, you. There's no gentleness about this, even in training. And when these boys get going against a real enemy, it's going to be rough for the enemy. Now it's the trainee's turn to throw the instructor, and does he like it? If he loses his gun in landing, the parachutist's job is to get one from the enemy. For an unarmed man to tackle an armed one takes plenty of guts. These boys have got guts, and they've learned the trick. When you land in enemy territory, you must be absolutely at your top. It's a tough experience dropping from a plane, but if it makes you sick, you'll never be a parachutist. So test them out, instructors. Try to make them giddy. Try to make them sick. If you can't, they're okay. And now, here on the ground, they learn what it's like to take that first step into nothing, dropping from the pit of a troop-carrying plane onto a map. And now they're ready for the first actual parachute jump from a captive balloon. Each man makes sure that the next man's harness is properly fixed and fastened, ready to operate instantly and efficiently. This may mean life or death. So into the gondola and up they go. This is the day, the hour they've waited for so long. The supreme test, the first jump. They look down. Rather a bad moment, this. The earth is a little too far away and a little too near. But now is the time for every man to prove himself, and for every parachute to prove itself. Will it open? It will, because the packing of every parachute is a precision job done by experts. Every chute will have a man's life depending on it, and no chances are taken. Men of the paratroops watch the parachutes being packed and sometimes help to pack their own. This gives them the same confidence in their equipment that they have in themselves. They say that the infantryman's best friend is his rifle. The parachutist's best friend is certainly that folded segment of fine Egyptian cotton. All right, boys, jump. So Britain builds an army for assault from the air. Every detail planned, every trick tested, every man trained and hardened. The big moment is over. From now on, they know that they are men who can jump from the sky. Men who can wear a symbol that means as much to them as his wings do to a pilot, the badge of the paratroops.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Air Military Collectibles. So we're in the outside elements today, fine day. This is a video I said I'd do for Stan, Steel Helmet Stan. He asked me to do a video on my British helmets, so that's what we're doing, British para helmets, so that's what we're doing. So, June 1940, Winston Churchill decided he was going to form the Parachute Regiment. So when they started looking into actually making up this division, the British Army were using this helmet at the time, the Mark II, the Battle Bowler, depending on what you want to call it. Obviously not a very good helmet for the likes of paratroopers because of this lip, whereas it would catch wind as they were coming down, and would possibly catch in the shrouds of their parachute, so therefore not a great idea. So they come up with this one. So not initially this one, but what they did was they came up with a few different designs. Then they settled on this in 1944, and this is the Steel Helmet Paratrooper. The shell itself was actually used by the Armoured Corps, used by dispatch riders, stuff like that. What made it the paratroopers one was the actual harness on the inside. This is the later Mark II version because of the chin strap. The Mark I version would have had a leather chin strap, and the reason for that is just cost saving to have this. This was used by the British Army for up on 30 years, up until the 60s, so if not longer. It was used right up Suez, Malaya, things like that. So the next big change then that you will see is this one. Now this one has lots and lots of different titles in the British Army. The main common one is the M76, which is the designation that you most find with it. And what this is it's the parachute helmet. This was formed in the late 70s, early 80s. You see them coming on stream just prior to the Falklands. You see them with a different chin strap system, and you see them with this chin strap system, and you also see them, believe it or not, with this chin strap system. Because what it was, you had two pins here, or two rings here at the back that the paratrooper had to close, and they were leather, and they didn't like them, they perished. So they changed up the helmets to change the chin straps. The first helmets were actually fiberglass. They were designed for impacts rather than Kevlar, or rather than giving you ballistic protection. Now this one is an early one because it is fiberglass. So this is one of the early ones. So this was it's set up for the Falklands, bar the chin strap. The chin strap is fine. Scrimmed up. Now this is a tradition you see them using all the way up until their new helmet that they got in 2016, which is the Vertas, I believe called the Vertas system. They still wear nets on their helmets. That one should have had a net on it, I just don't have it on it. It's a tradition thing with them. And this one has actually a private purchase, or not private purchase, but a custom chin strap, because all these para helmets for some reason close like this. So this one has actually been fitted with a buckle rather than the loop and button that you see an awful lot of them doing. And the original ones had like two D rings back here that you would feed it through and do it. So this is a para helmet rigged up for the Falklands. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed that, Stan. It's just a little brief take on my para helmets. So if you like what we provide here at Air Military Collectibles, please like, please subscribe, and please tune in for the next video. And as always, if you want to get in contact with the channel, there's an email at the top of the video description. Thank you.